And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our special Super Tuesday coverage here on Newsmax Television. I'm Steve Malzberg on this special edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. Of course, we have results in. 3 states have closed. We have Alabama, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, and Tennessee closing at the top of the hour. And we'll bring you those with our extended coverage with J.D. Hayworth when he takes over at the top of the hour. But first of all, you should know that Hillary has won in Virginia, Hillary has won in Georgia, and Hillary has lost to Bernie Sanders in Vermont. Now, on the Republican side in Georgia, the apparent winner is Donald Trump. In Virginia, it's still too close to call between Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. But as soon as they call those races, we will bring you that information. Okay, so we go now to our guest, Jonathan Tobin. Before we get to your calls, by the way, at 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. And Jonathan is senior editor for Commentary Magazine. Welcome, sir.
Great to be with you, Steve.
A Super Tuesday. And I don't know, I guess it's going to be super for Donald Trump and super for Hillary. And it will be much less than super for someone like Ted Cruz if he doesn't win Texas, and I guess somewhat less than super for Marco Rubio if he doesn't hang on somehow in Virginia or win Minnesota.
I think you're absolutely right. Obviously, it's a big night for Trump. The polls seem to be right. Obviously, Ted Cruz has to win in Texas to keep going, but the results we've already gotten from Georgia are really telling for him. You know, it was only a few weeks ago, Steve, that the Cruz people were telling us, and we believed it. I'm not going to say I didn't believe it, that the SEC states, you know, states like Georgia and South Carolina, for that matter, which already voted, were going to be great for him because of all the evangelical voters. Well, Trump ate his lunch in the evangelical vote. And as much as Cruz will be able to hang on, stay in the race, and maybe even make an argument, hey, I'm the real number 2, I'm the Avis of this Republican race after tonight. If he can't win a state in Georgia, if he can't even be competitive in Georgia, he has no path to the nomination. As for Rubio, I agree. As I wrote yesterday, he has to win someplace. And frankly, you know, he's trailing by like 8 points in Virginia. It's not looking really that good for him, although there's very few votes counted. He's got to win someplace. And if not, you know, as much as everybody who doesn't like Trump is calling for somebody to pull out, it's not clear that either one of them can take him on. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm among those who have grave reservations about Donald Trump as a conservative. But the fact is, he appears to be on his way to this nomination.
He does appear to be on this way to this nomination, and I'm very disturbed, Jonathan, when I hear people, Ben Sass and others, say, you know, hey, let's look at a third-party candidate if Donald Trump is the nominee. And as I just discussed with Dick Morris, and I don't think it's very controversial of an opinion, that's a cakewalk for Hillary. We saw how Bill Clinton got elected with 42% of the vote in 1992 thanks to Ross Perot. We would have the same exact thing here if a third-party candidate comes in against Trump, or if the Republicans screw Donald Trump at the convention and he feels screwed and he goes and runs as a third party. That too will accomplish the same goal of welcoming Hillary Clinton into the White House.
Steve, you know, third parties don't win. They just spoil. You're absolutely right. The thing is, the reason why Ben Sass said what he said, and why he actually speaks probably for more than a few Republicans, is that they don't see Donald Trump as a Republican, as a conservative. They see, and I think you can make an argument, I'm kind of getting close to that argument myself, that there isn't a heck of a lot of difference on a lot of major issues that conservatives care about between Trump and Hillary Clinton.
All right, well, Jonathan, let me give you a couple. Let me give you on the terrorism issue. One says we got to keep Muslims out of this country until we fix the system. The other one says Muslims have nothing to do with terror. Let me give you the police. Hillary says the police are beating blacks at will and killing them. And Donald Trump sticks up for the police. I mean, I could go through it. The Supreme Court. I don't care how middle of the road Donald Trump's pick would be. Hillary's would be falling off the cliff. Now, and I do think Trump would try to prove himself as a conservative with a conservative choice. So my point is, you said it yourself, third-party candidates don't win. Now, Trump would know that. That would only be up to Trump if he runs as a third party. But if it's Trump as the nominee, people like you and me and others have to vote for Trump or we get Hillary.
Well, Trump, you said it actually quite well when you say Trump has to prove that he's a conservative. He hasn't been doing a very good job.
I mean, he might try to do that with the Supreme Court pick. I'm saying I have confidence in that. Yeah.
That's a theory. That's a hope.
All right, but Jonathan, so what would you do? Jonathan, so what would you vote for Hillary over Trump?
I work for a magazine that doesn't endorse candidates, so I'm not going to say how I vote or what I'm telling people to vote. I would certainly never. I could personally never really support Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
I understand people who say they can't vote for Trump. There's a lot that's wrong with him. There's a lot that really, when Ben Sass said that, these are two lying New York liberals, he spoke for a lot of people, and it's very hard to make the case for Trump as a conservative, as anything more than an attitudinal conservative, as he's more, certainly more of a populist than even in his most conservative.
I understand, but again, I'll just say Second Amendment, abortion, immigration, terrorism, you name it. There's day and night between Trump and Hillary. So listen, we have to leave it there, Jonathan. I thank you very, very much.